Good morning, church. This is Jacob Mills coming at you from a in and out Redding, California. Just to let you know, the line is still long, just like it is in Kaiser, just as much as a pain, but you know, it's just what you got to deal with, okay? So, glad you could make it this morning. Today we're going to be talking about temptation. Now, just like with the other 5 for Faves that I've done, I always like to start off with the definition so we all can kind of start on the same page, okay? So according to Google, temptation is the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. That's just a real basic definition. You could probably go further. What was funny to me when I saw this was that the Google search mentions the temptation of Jesus Christ as the third example. Now, if you remember, that that was a time in which Jesus was in the desert. If you want to read it, it's in Luke chapter 4, verses 1 through 13, and he's just kind of chilling there, fasting, and then the devil comes, and they kind of have like a mano-a-mano like faith battle. They're chilling in the Judean desert, and the devil wants him to break his fast. So one thing that he does is he shows Christ a rock and says, "Hey, you're all powerful. Just like turn this rock into bread." Yeah, and then the second part, or there's probably another one, but the last part is he brings him up onto a wide, like a big plateau, shows him the world and says, all of this can be yours if you just bow down to me. And now obviously, Jesus does not fall for the temptation, luckily for all of us, and instead he pretty much told Satan to bugger off, you know? The point that I'm trying to make here is that even God Nabad, Jesus as I call him, can be tempted. What matters is in the end is that the decision that an individual makes from said temptation. Okay? From Jesus' account, we all know that not all temptations are the same. Okay? So they can range from minimal stuff like, you know, breaking a fast or lying, to kind of much bigger stuff like straight bowing down to Satan or sexual immorality. Now, for those younger audience, sexual immorality is the stuff like that includes like porn, premarital sex. And I only bring this up because I know many young men and women, along with myself, that struggle daily in their fight against sexual immorality. In a world where the average age of exposure to porn is around 13 years old, you have to check the APA for that. And other studies I've found have said 9 to 11 years old. Now, it's no wonder that our generation struggles with sexual immorality. Maybe in another video I can go into all the negatives that come with this, but the point is that it's a widespread temptation, and it seems not a lot of people have the answer to said temptation. Or addiction, that's another word I use for it. And the word addiction is kind of key, because the things that we become addicted to become our God. You make them your God, in which case you replace God, like God the Father, as the forerunner of your lives. Thus putting in control of yourself an abusive temporal culmination of fluids and hormones. Sounds like you're putting like a teenager in control of yourself. This is obviously not good because teenagers suck. You know, I was one at one point, so you know. So up to this point, it seems like a hopeless fight, you know? It seems like a big issue that a lot of people are dealing with and they don't quite know the answer for, right? Excuse me. However, we have kind of a cheat on our side. We have the all-powerful creator on our side. Now, if you turn with me to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 13, I'll read it for you right here. It says, "There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, and you will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it." Now, I know some people will get lost in the KJV, but the gist is that God takes away all the temptation up to the point in which the onus is on you. That means that it's up to you. You know, he takes a massive part of that temptation away that you don't have to deal with it. And even further, if you look into Philippians chapter 4, verses 13, we know that if you turn to Christ fully, like if you go out to Christ, he will take that last part away as well. All things are possible through God. So he can even take that away. He can fight through that with you. Yes, he can lead you away from being a slave to sin and put into his loving arms. So, as you go about your day and encounter temptations, know that one, it can be so much worse than it actually is, than it truly is. You could be experiencing so much more temptation and sin in your life. And two, that you can straight nope out of there with God's grace. He can just, if you going into God's family and you truly want to take that upon yourself and can truly believe in him, he can take that all away from you. So, And as we deal in this world with temptations, temptations are per person. Everyone deals with their own temptations. The good thing is, though, there are other people in this world who have dealt with the same temptations that you have. So reach out to your church body, reach out to your friends, reach out to people, along with God, of course, that have dealt with said things. They can help you. They can offer solace. They've probably fought through it a lot, with the majority of their lives. So I just implore you that in your daily life, you seek out those people, you seek God out, and then allow yourselves to fight through that temptation, not by yourself, but through God and through the help of others. Looks like it's my turn. So I'm gonna have to let you go. Just again, thank you for being here on this day, talking about temptation. I hope it helped you out, and have a schmick day.